Welcome to Sparking Conversations, episode 2. We're going to talk about a couple different things today. The first thing I think we're going to talk about is the recent price drop in Bitcoin. What can you tell me, Jim?
Yeah, well, I know you initially want to talk about Ethereum and smart contracts, stuff like that, but considering recent events, I think we could at least address it and what I see kind of going on. And I'll kind of walk you through how I kind of do my investigation kind of thing.
Okay.
But you can see what's on my screen right now, right?
Yeah.
So right here, you're looking at like an old school Bitcoin mining, and this is
Okay.
actually kind of state of the art from back in the day. When we explained before, mining Bitcoin before you could have started on just your home computer and whatnot, and it basically you put a node onto the Bitcoin network and you're validating transactions, which boosts the security, and then you're rewarded in Bitcoin. This is pretty much how it started back in the day, and this is what you'd have in your basement. The average person could do it, and times have moved on. Is this today is
Wow.
yeah, this is what some of the mining facilities have turned into, and this is just one of many. And what they do is these large corporates and companies and stuff like that, they look for the cheapest electricity possible that they can to be the most lucrative that they can be. And as you can see, they've grown exponentially.
Absolutely. That's enormous.
Yes, yeah, and this is just one of many. This is just a decent photo. And sometimes the more northern climates also, because you can see this much computing power. You can just imagine the heat
The
that
amount of heat's probably, yeah, you're not going to do this like in Texas, right?
not without having a huge AC and cooling bill. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they like Sweden, Norway, stuff like Iceland. They're becoming kind of a hot spot because of it helps with the cooling. You know what I mean? Just being a colder
Yeah.
climate. You can see kind of what they've grown into over the years, and people don't realize, they wouldn't be dumping billions of dollars into it. Wasn't lucrative.
Right.
But anyway, this is what one of the mining facilities looks like today, and this right here is a chart of like the 5 biggest mining pools that are out there today. And over here, you see this chunk here that's unknown. That's moms and pops and people like you
Okay.
and me that have like a small miner and machine or whatever and whatnot.
So
But these,
these pools, like, can anybody join these pools, or are these like exclusive things?
uh, I'm not exactly 100% sure on all that stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to throw out information that I don't know of, but I do know that these are the 5 largest entities are right here, and we're gonna focus on these guys right here, the F2.
Okay.
They're possibly the largest. I heard that they were the second largest, but it looks like they might be the largest mining pool in. I think they're based out of China too,
Okay.
and this right here is one of the tools that I use to this is a F2 pool, the miners outflow, the outflow. And as you see, we had that recent price drop.
Right.
You follow my little cursor down at the bottom, you see the red
Yeah.
hash with the 200. That's like normal outflow. So they mine Bitcoin and they sell it to pay for, or they sell a large portion of it to sell for pay for electricity, their costs and overhead, and
Right.
a regular business or whatever. But right here is kind of like where I want to focus. You see I can't see the numbers because the faces, but I believe it was like about 20,000 Bitcoin that were dropped onto the market, and like just from this one company in specific
Wow.
and that resulted in the price today. And
Okay.
I would get a little tinfoil hatish. It's because, and again, before right here, when you seen the first price drop, that was January 29th. And over here, we're at the end of February.
Okay.
And if you go to CME Futures, which is a hedge fund that I forgot to bring up the box, but a little too late now. These guys, uh, you know, they're hedge funds, and they have futures contracts and stuff like that on
Right.
Bitcoin.
So
And what a
basically,
hedge
they bet against losses ultimately, right?
they can, yes,
Yeah.
they short.
Okay.
I just find it really, really interesting. Their contracts come up at the end of the month. Okay. And
Ah. And
January
where are
20,
we right now? We're at the end of the month.
we're at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Exactly. So these guys, I'm just, you know what I mean? Hypothetically, I
Right.
think that maybe these guys are shooting pool with these guys, the miners on the weekends, and there's this invisible hand that's forcing the price down. Then they buy out, they make money as the price is going up, and they make money as the price is going down because they short, and it's a
Right.
hedge fund. And what do hedge funds do? What did we learn with the GameStop and all that stuff? They trade with leverage. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So these guys are making money as the price is going down, and then they'll take that liquidity and dump it back into Bitcoin, and they're off to the races again. And that's just the part of how I justify
So
the price
it's a
drop.
it's a pretty fantastic way not only to make money, but to also build your standing with Bitcoin, right? Because if you're buying low and selling high and wait for the market to drop again, then you're improving your position ultimately.
Yeah, yeah, and I understand people don't have time for this shit. You know what I mean? I get it, but this is what I'm really interested in it, and I follow it, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh, that's clever. I
Right.
see you. I see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't want people to get like super discouraged about the Bitcoin price and stuff like that. I know we talk about like money and how it's manipulated and stuff like that. Bitcoin is manipulated to an extent. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
If a company can trade with leverage, they'll find a way to manipulate it.
Right.
You know,
And
and these guys.
I
Go
think
ahead.
for anybody who is listening who is new to all this and you bought it 50,000 whatever, um my big thing is like I saw it go down and I was like, well, I'm just going to buy more, you know.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
I entered the crypto sphere in like 2017 and it went all the way up to 19,000 and then it pulled all the way back to what, like 4,000 over like a decent period of time.
All right. Yeah.
But it's like if you don't, let's say you bought at 16,000 during that period. If you don't sell, like if you don't freak out when it hits 8,000 and you bought at 16,000 and you just hang on until the next rise, you're not going to lose, right? Like we are not, or I'm not a
Right.
trader.
Yeah.
So I just hang on to what I have with the thought that it's going to build over time. So when I saw it drop to 46, I was like, well, I'm not too worried about that. But it's
I
good to
just thought it
see,
was interesting.
absolutely, to see the data behind it, because I'm sure that for some people, like, to be able to see. So how many Bitcoin did they sell at once?
Uh, Again, our little faces are over my chart here, so I
Okay.
can't see. But I
Right.
think it's somewhere around 20,000 Bitcoin in 1 week,
Wow.
yeah, and for like 14,000 of them are like just like that, liquidated in one spot, which creates selling pressure, which
Right.
the normal mom and pop people like us, small people, are kind of panic, and so they sell as well, and that drives the price down even more. And then these people come back in and scoop up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what they're doing is creating fear and a lot of people when you're buying and selling and you're in the market and stuff like that, and you're looking at the charts, there's so much of that is emotionally based. You
Yeah.
know, it really, really is.
I think
But,
you just you
just to
have
make
to.
people go ahead.
Well, I think some people freak out and sell like that, but I think you just have to have like you have to shake your prey senses, right? Like if
Yeah,
you're a sheep and there's a dog on the fence, like, don't react. That's like the worst thing you can do, because like then you lose.
right. What they want Bitcoin, man.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Well, there are
And
things while you have this chart up, like there are people that read these charts and know exactly what's going on, and they can short like very small turnarounds too, right? Like,
yeah, sure,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, there are like for the simplest of charts and stuff like that, there are what they call like emotional milestones. Like
right,
like like if you're buying and selling, and you're like the average person that buys Bitcoin, and they're like, well, the price is going up. I'm going to sell at 40. And then wait for the 40 is a big, flat, round, emotional number. You know what I
right,
mean? So if you want to beat the crowd, you probably sell at 39,168 or whatever, and set your stop losses at a different. But I mean, that's real super, like, what's kind of technical stuff that I don't think a lot of people would be interested in. But I do have something else I'd like to bring up.
sure.
If you can see if I can you guys see that?
I see black. There we go. We're good.
You see that?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, this is again, our faces in the. I wonder how. Oh, I can move them. Nice. I'm still learning this stuff.
It's all
I'll
good.
put that up here.
Mine are parked right to
All
the
right.
side, so I can see it perfectly.
Nice. All right. So this is the price chart movement for Bitcoin, and I'll show you some like basic technical analysis. Okay. And what we're gonna do when you zoom in, the it looks terrible. But when in doubt,
Yeah,
zoom out.
zoom out, and yeah, like straight, like
Look at the
there's a straight upward trend here. I mean, for the most part, yeah, we have valleys and dips, but it's like it looks like a mountain. You're still going to the top, you know?
uh, my computer is way too slow to be doing this. Anyway, I'll save time and stuff. I'm not going to do it, but I typically I'd lay a trend line and you shoot for like the 200-day moving average. That's like the most common thing. And if you lay that across here, what you do is you're kind of finding your trend line. And
Right.
when I do lay that out, it goes right across these two wicks and comes up here. All right.
Okay.
And
So,
what that it is like when you have a trend line and stuff like that. It when we blow through the trend line and come back, it acts as support. So typically you won't go beneath it, but once you do blow beneath it, it acts as resistance. So you can
okay.
kind of make trades based on that. And I wish I had a faster computer because I could show you all that stuff. I can show you what I think. But right here, we're dancing just beneath the that 200-day moving average.
Right.
So what we could do is if it keeps up as support, we would kind of ping pong back and forth up here and then blast off probably sometime in the end of March. If I could draw my charts, I could show you.
Really?
If it doesn't, and it doesn't hold support and falls through that, I see it going down to the next line of support would be right about here, right about the $40,000 to $42,000.
Okay.
Okay, that
Yeah.
would be the next, because right here, this is like a massive accumulation spot.
So you can kind of tell what the fallback point or what the rally point might be by using these charts.
Yeah, and sometimes I had mixed feelings about technical analysis myself.
Right.
Sometimes I felt like it was like reading tea leaves. I'm like, how the hell does it, you know? But there's certain dynamics about it that have been proven right, and I think basically it's just the human emotion, I guess,
Right. Being able to chart that.
right? And I wanted to be able to show you guys one more thing, if I can, if my computer will do it. Now, you guys see this?
Yeah.
All
Fiat.
right,
Yeah.
this is another platform. It's called Fiat League. Yeah, and I don't know if my computer is going to do it, man.
What does Fiat League do?
Slow. Well, it's kind of unimpressive right now. But if you go in it, you go on Fiat League, you type in Bitcoin or whatever, and this map right here represents all the money that's being converted from fiat to Bitcoin, not Bitcoin to Bitcoin or Bitcoin trades or Ethereum to Bitcoin or vice versa or anything like that.
Right.
It actually shows you in real time where like these numbers would be just blown by, but because I'm trying to zoom with you and run this
Right.
small laptop, it's
Kind
not
of
doing
slows
it.
things
But
down.
here you would see just a plethora of you'd see a crazy amount of Bitcoin going everywhere. I recommend everybody just go on it and click on it, check it out. You can follow many different cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, and you could see what cryptos are. I use it to watch crypto to see where they're going, which cryptos are more popular in certain countries and stuff like
Right.
that. So if you are a hardcore trader or anything like that, you would see price pumps at certain times of days. You know what I mean? Like if
Sure.
there's something bullish happening over in Japan or whatever, and it's 2 in the morning there, but it's in the middle of the day here. That's one thing to look at. Another thing to look at was like back when Bitcoin was like trading at like 14,000. And I was looking at my chart and I'm like, why the hell is it such resistance on the thing? And then again, going back to that emotional number that we were speaking on before, is because that was 10,000 euros. It was like a big, bold,
Uh,
emotional. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because we have to remember that when we speak in terms of fiat, like it's all over the world, right? We're talking about multiple different
Absolutely.
currencies. Right. Okay.
And
So these
the
little
like
these little blips that we're seeing right here, is this like where the Bitcoin, it looks like the Bitcoin's coming from Africa? Like,
no, it's just coming out from outside the screen. It's
okay.
going to here or there,
Where,
and this isn't doing it any justice at all because my
okay.
computer can't keep up. Oh,
Sure.
but actually, the bigger coins are the larger transactions. The small ones, you got to click on it when we're not doing our thing, and you'll really see real time how many transactions. You're going to be overwhelmed by
Wow.
the amount of Bitcoin that's being
That's a
accumulated.
great tool. Yeah, I like,
It is a good tool.
I'm gonna check it
It
out just for the sake of like
sucks that
watching.
my computer's so slow. I think with all this Bitcoin I got, I'd buy a computer, right?
There you go.
But with the other chart, I mean, again, I'll work on getting a good computer so I can go over to some charts with you guys. And I don't want to do like price predictions and stuff like that. I show you what I think
Right.
and
But
where I think it's going and what I do, but it's
we
not financial advice, and I
we are
don't
not
recommend
financial or investment advice. Why?
it.
You know
For the
why.
last of our class. That's why.
Yes. We're the last of our high school class, number
but
42 and 43 right here.
but man, I watch the stuff and I'm watching what these guys are doing, and I watch the trade and stuff. And it reminds me of like Wayne Gretzky back in the day. He said something really smart that was like, "Don't chase the puck. Skate to where you think the puck is gonna be."
Right.
And I do that with it. It really does kind of apply with the charts as well.
There's a ton of wisdom in that for sure.